let's now have a little bit more of a chat about Belgium and why it mattered to Australia getting involved in the First World War. We've already established that Australia went to war because Britain went to war. But Britain went to war because Germany invaded Belgium. Now, why Germany went to war is another story again, but we're not going down that path. It's too far removed for us. Australia went to war because Britain went to war. Britain went to war because Germany invaded Belgium. So let's get our head a little bit around Germany's invasion of Belgium and how it fits with our understanding of the Triple Entente and other countries. Have a look at this map again. I think you've seen it before. On our map, we can see our Central Powers through the middle of Europe. We can see our Triple Entente in these dark green colours, and we know that the war is going to break out on various fronts. The key one that we want to see is actually on the Allied side by the time this map's drawn, and that's Belgium, that country that was involved, was invaded by the Germans. There it is there. It's often referred to as one of the Low Countries, alongside the Netherlands and alongside Luxembourg. Small little country to the northeast of France, between France and Germany. When we look at this map, what we've got to remember is that France was expecting to be attacked at some stage by the Germans. And so here, on this little area I've marked with blue, along the French border, there were French fortress towns, French fortress cities. So the Germans knew that if they were to try and invade across their direct border here between Germany and France, that would be a very slow and difficult place to attack. The French were expecting a German attack there. What the French weren't expecting is for the German armies to swing around over the top of their fortress towns, to come in through Belgium as one great big wave, capturing Belgium, a neutral country, a country that's not supposed to take a side in the war, neither on the Central Powers nor on the Triple Entente side, swoop around there, capture the French capital Paris in the area that I'm just indicating here, and then the German army was going to come around and trap the French soldiers in their fortresses and force France to surrender. This is the Schlieffen Plan. Let's look at a better diagram of it. In this diagram of the Schlieffen Plan, we've got a close-up with a bit more detail of what's going on. You can see here that the German army has formed itself up opposite the French fortress towns. Have a look at our key above. Hit pause if you need to. Make some notes. They do this so that the French believe that they are remaining there. But look at these large concentrations of German armies. They're going to, when the Schlieffen Plan is launched, rush through these neutral countries, capturing those neutral countries, sweeping around, capturing Paris, capturing other French cities, and arriving behind the French armies. There's a lot of good stuff in this old map. Let's read it carefully. So, this source tells us that the Schlieffen Plan was designed in 1905, 9 years before the war, to ensure a swift German victory over France. An essential feature was a strong right flank. So if you're a German, this is your right-hand side, this is your left-hand side. Strong right flank advance, which would encircle Paris. There's Paris, look at the big circling around it. Encircle Paris. The plan involved marching through 3 neutral countries: Belgium, Holland, Luxembourg. There's Belgium, there's Luxembourg being invaded, and there's Holland. They're going through Holland there too. Okay. The Germans didn't believe Britain would be willing to go to war in order to fulfill the treaty obligations Britain had to defend the Belgians being neutral. So, we've learned something new here. Britain, over here, had a treaty with Belgium. And it essentially said after 1839 that Belgium, if anyone ever tries to invade you, the Germans or the French or the Dutch from Holland, if they were to try and invade you, Britain will protect you. Britain will look after you. The Germans really didn't think Britain would look after the Belgians. I think they thought that Germany was too strong and that there'd be no need to try and defend them. Let's now see if we can turn this into a paragraph. Again, try to look at the structure of this paragraph. I've got some quotes. I've got some references to this source up there. So let's see how it goes. The blue this time is my point, and I return to it at the end. The German military's plan to swiftly invade France at the start of a war with the Triple Entente was known as the Schlieffen Plan. So I'm using a few of my terms, and it's pretty clear what I'm talking about at the outset. I'm going to expand upon it. The plan was named after the general who devised it. This plan was attempted in August 1914 at the start of the war. Now I'm going to, in the brown, use my source. As shown on the map provided, the plan called for some sections of the German army, those lines there, to hold the French army in position at the French border. Okay, there's the border. All right. While a larger German force swept through neutral countries, including Belgium, to capture the French capital, Paris. So they're going to sweep through and capture Paris. Okay. They would then advance, I'm getting this idea from the map, I'm still using the source, on the French fortress zone. Now I've got a quote there. Okay. I wonder where that's being used. Oh look, the French fortress zone. It's up here. I'm taking words from the source and quoting them. French fortress zone near the German border, and then force the French to surrender. The purple, my ideas. Even though Britain had promised to protect Belgium in a treaty during 1813, the Germans didn't think the British would wish to fight a war against Germany. So that's not in the source, that's something I've got in my head. So I'm sharing it in my paragraph. Look, brown, I'm referring back to the source here. The Germans believed that by using this plan, they would win a, quote, swift, and ellipsis, ... victory over France, close inverted commas. That ellipsis, the 3 dots, means I've left out a word or some words so the sentence flowed nicely. I've got a nice short quote there rather than having to write out too much. Let's see if we can see what I'd actually said. They would win a swift victory over France. There it is. The Schlieffen Plan was designed in 1905 to ensure a swift German victory over France. Oh, I see what the ellipsis has done. I've just taken out the word German so it fits nicely into the sentence I wanted to write. I haven't changed the meaning of the quote. I haven't taken anything out that's really crucial. All I've done is tweak it so it runs nicely in my sentence in a succinct and effective way. And then in blue, that must mean I'm returning to my point again. I'm linking back to the start of the paragraph. I've then gone, they, the Germans, they believed that the Schlieffen Plan would allow the Central Powers, using my terms, to defeat the Triple Entente quickly in any war that broke out between them.